Did you get that December 5th?
Rain dance.
Can't tell. It's a funeral or something?
As long as it's just the artist's interpretation, they want to show that he's the divine one most. And then like Jackson says it's the state. Because his father wrote the voice of the world, he was surrounded by voices.
But you got a cold card from New York? Oh, great!
This is the Meher clinic, which we started working since 1970. This is the men's side, where the men monthly used to stay with when Baba was in physical body, and even now they stay. And this last end room used to be Kakabaria's room, one of a very old mandli of Baba. And this is the room where Baba used to see visitors in the years between the years 1943 and 1948. And after Kakabaria dropped his body, we thought we'd open a small clinic here for the Pimpalgaon villagers and villagers from the surrounding area, from the hill areas, the Happy Valley, Manjar Subha, Gorakhnath, and it has been a great boon to these poor people because there is no medical aid within a radius of 6 or 8 miles. So we are already getting about 100 to 150 patients in a morning who come from these various villages. Now I'll show you the inside of the clinic. This is Kakabaria's room, and of course it looks fully furnished now, but there used to be no furniture when he was using except for a string bed and a bench and a broken up chair and some casement boxes which he used for his, and the bed used to be just where this examination table is, and Baba would sit with cross-legged on the bed and see any special visitor or any Baba lover who'd come to see him. Of course, in Meherazad, nobody came unless they were specially called to see Baba. And so this is where we work, take care of the patients, examine them, and this is the place where injections are given, prepared, and in the adjoining room we take the patients for doing dressings of the wounds, giving shots, or doing detailed examination of their condition. This is exactly where I am sitting. Used to be a string bed, and on that Baba would sit and see visitors.
This was in Mandalay Hall for massage.
This examination table was placed in the Mandalay Hall after Baba's second accident, and on this very table Baba would lie down and the Mandalay would give him a massage, or Harry Kenmore, whenever he visited India, he would give his chiropractic treatment to Baba, do some adjustments. And Baba, to please his lovers, because of their love for him, Baba would agree to undergo all this treatment. This is another room, also belonging to one of the men mandli, and it's next to the clinic room, and it used to be occupied by various of Baba's men mandli from time to time. Sometimes Dr. Donkin and Dr. Neelu Godse, he used to stay here, Vishnu Master and Ram Das, Gadekar. From time to time, whenever Baba called his mandli from Meherabad to stay, then they would come. Padri also used to stay in this same room whenever Baba called him to stay in Meherazad for a few days. Now this room is being used by Baba lovers the Meher pilgrims as we call them. This is another room next to, all these small rooms are one after another in a row, and it was here that Kaikobad Dastur stayed, and when he had sustained fracture of his leg, Baba would come into the room and work with him. And even before that, if Baba had some work, he'd be sitting with Kaikobad and doing his work. At that time, all the doors and windows used to remain shut, and Baba would do his work with him. After Baba dropped his body, Kaikobad went to stay in Meherabad to be near his family, who stayed there up on Meherabad Hill.
And now you use it.
Now this room is being used by Baba lovers, and Bal Natu also uses this room.
Okay. That's it.
This veranda and the tiled flooring were done after, in 1970. Nariman Dadachanji, he thought that so many Baba lovers are coming now, the number is increasing, they should have somewhere to sit. Otherwise, when the Mandli were living here in these rooms, they just stepped out on the mud, on the earth. There was no flooring, and there was no roof, no veranda attached. This is the room where a electric generator was put in 1948. Dr. Donkin's father, who was an engineer, had sent it from England for Baba's use. And Baba had electric fittings done in the whole of Meherazad, and it used to work on this generator. Up till New Life, and even after we came here, even after New Life, we used to use the generator and electricity. Then in 1958, when a Sahwas was held in Meherabad, then they required some electricity, so the generator was transferred from here to Meherabad, and it is still there. Then later this room was used by Don Stevens and his adopted son Alan Yule when they came. Sometimes it was used by Joseph Harb when he came. And since 1959, Francis used this room. And after Francis went to Australia, after Baba dropped his body, he went to stay there he went back home to Australia to stay there permanently. Then this room was used by Nariman, and it is still his room. This whole cottage was built really for the generator. So the next room to this, where the engine was, used to be the room where all the implements were kept. And when the generator was removed, naturally this room also became we put it in a livable condition. So any of the close Baba Mandlis like Meherji or Joseph Harb or Padri or anyone whom Baba would call to stay in Meherazad, they used to stay also in this room. And sometimes before we went to Guru Prasad, if it was very hot, then Baba would sit here in this room with the men Mandli, because this is a cooler room. It's a large room with a high ceiling. So Baba would sit there and be with the Mandli.
What about this room?
This small room used to be the room of the caretaker, who who used to look after the generator, supplying the electricity and all. And later, this room was allotted to Gustadji, and Gustadji used to live in this little room. Later, after Gustadji died, dropped his body, then this room was used by Baidul till the end, till he, passed away. And before Baidul used this room, there was a time when when Nilkanth Mast was brought, and a bed was put in this room for Nilkanth Mast, and Baba did his work in this room with the mast. So the story of this little cottage. Baba's brother Adi Jr. also, when he came, he also lived in this same room in the year 1968 and also in the year 1964 when he came to visit Baba. This is the outside of the cottage, which used to be which was really built, specially built to put in the generator, electric generator, and work it there. And now it is used by the Mandli Mandli. This is the New Life Caravan, which arrived in Sarnath, and this was used by the 4 women Mandli who went with Baba in New Life. And this is the side where Mehera used to sleep. At the other end, Mani, and here Meheru used to sleep, and I used to go last and sleep on the floor in between. Morning, then when we all came out of the caravan, Baba would be sitting in for a short while till we prepared the hot water for him, or we ourselves washed and were ready. And then Mehera would see to Baba's personal attendance. The caravan was driven by 2 bullocks, and Pendu used to drive the caravan, and on either side we used to keep our household requirements like a water container, and as we walked we would collect sticks, dry sticks and all, and we'd pile them in front on either side, so that wherever we halted for the night we'd make a wood fire to keep ourselves warm, or to make hot water, as it used to be terribly cold. Now?
Go ahead. Baba bought that cycle for you, didn't he?
Baba said, when I complained of pain in my leg, Baba suggested Mehera also suggested that I should have a bicycle to go back and forth. So we wrote to Nariman, that is his brother in Pune, and he bought this right side of the bicycle, because I'm not liable to fall off. You can always, if I go off balance, I can always rest my legs on the floor. And sometimes if I would go into the hall, I would go on the bicycle carrying something for Baba, a glass of water or something, right up to his chair in the hall. And sometimes if I didn't go on the bicycle, if I walked in, Baba would ask me, where is the bicycle? Why didn't you use the bicycle? And I'd say, Baba, I was just close by, that's why I walked in.
Okay.
Now is that all right?
All right, here she goes.
Did you want something, Mommy?
No, I'm coming first. Okay, Baba.
I thought you'd come.
Go now.
Yes?
Finish or not?
You can show that wall. Is it on? Yeah. We're standing in Meherazad garden on the women's side. From here I can see part of the seclusion hill. This of course is the garden, and it is always what was referred to as this side of the wall. The other side of the wall is where the men mandali were, And between the two is where the Mandali hall is, where Baba would go every morning. That's there. And so this is the women's side. You must have seen quite a bit of this in films, how when Baba would be brought from there or on the lift chair to the Mandali's hall here every day. And actually at first, Baba's bedroom used to be up, Baba's room used to be upstairs, the right side. You can see a bit of it. There's these two trees, the tamarind and the golmore. Through that you can see a little bit of it. But after the accident, when it was very painful for Baba to go up every day, he still would, but Mehera at last persuaded Baba to have his room downstairs. So Goher, MEHERU and the others were shifted from there, and it was perfect because the door could be shut and the women could be segregated. When the men Mandali were called by Baba, it had a separate entrance to it, so it was perfect for Baba's work. Also for night time, when Baba always had one of the men sitting next to him right throughout the night, sometime taking turns, and so it was all very adjustable, very, very comfortable that way. And of course, you can't see Baba's room from here, but you have to go around the corner. And this is, I'm standing right outside the window of the room, which is now an office, where Rano types, works on her drawings, and I have my office supplies, and I work there sometimes. But this originally was where Kitty used to be. It was Kitty's room. And so it was very delightful when Kitty visited us recently. That is the room we gave her because she came along with Elizabeth. And Elizabeth had her original room, and Kitty had her original room. And in the room where originally Norina and the others were is now the room for Naja and Nawaz. Okay, where we're standing now is what we call the small cottage, the small veranda. This was actually the original place. So this is the room where Norina is to be. That's where Elizabeth was. That's where Kitty was. And somebody else was with Norina, I forget who. Now this is Rano's room here. Very neat, perfect little room. And this is the table where I used to, which was my office. And I loved it because it was open air, you know. I could watch the squirrels and the bird bath there. See the birds flapping their wings, bathing. That's come in films. And the chameleons coming down the tree trunks. And if another one came from his property, his tree trunk, this one would rush at that one, and that one would just go up saying, "Mama, look who's after me." So it was great fun. Of course, now that I have to work in a closed room at the office in Ahmednagar, and no birds, no chameleons, I realize we can't get away with it. Sometime or other one has to do it. Right at the back here is this picture of Baba kissing. The horse is kissing Baba. Every morning she would come, that is Mehera's horse, Sheba, and she would come up, and Baba's hiding a carrot, and over the veranda, this is in Satara, and Baba would lean over the veranda railing, and Sheba would come running, and we'd say, "Kiss, kiss, Sheba, kiss," and she'd give her nose, and Baba's planting a kiss on her soft muzzle. Then she'd get the carrot. This is Peter, the cocker spaniel we had, and you'll see these little chipmunks running up and down on him. He used to chase squirrels, you know, outside ones. But when we adopted these squirrels, because they were babies up on the roof, and we heard them one night, and next morning we got them down. It was motherless. They were motherless. So he became a mother to them. And these squirrels would go up and down and play with him, and very naughty, they'd take a tuft of his hair and pull, and he'd wince. But he wouldn't say anything, you know. He'd just put up with them. He was so proud. Look at the expression on his face, you know. And Mehera made me take that picture with a small camera. And when they would be in a little box we would put them, and he loved walks. Peter just passionately fond of walks, but he wouldn't go for walks while the squirrel babies were in that box. He wanted to come back and be with them, just sit there and tremble looking at them. And when they grew bigger and they got out, we would go to lunch knowing they were in Peter's care. So if one of them strayed and went over the door sill, Peter would go and pick one up gently in his mouth and put it back in the box, you know, and watch them all frowning intently. So this is still the office, Saturday, Sundays, and of course everybody uses it. There's a picture Behram drew. This is from old times. It's still there. This is my favorite. Mehera had him for so many years in her cupboard in Meherabad. And after Baba dropped his body, she was cleaning out. She gave me that. So I have this little plant here. I call him Gandalf, like from that Hobbit book. Huh? Well, what else, David?
That's all. Well, the family letters.
Oh, yes. And I used to type the family letters here. That's what I meant by my office. Most of the writing I did, the longest writing anyway I did, was the family letters, which I used to type at this table here, sitting, looking, with my glasses. I must put on my Hofflings to make it really authentic. Walk. Oh, look at the bird. Shh, don't make a noise. The birds are bathing. Now, this room is our storeroom, has been for years, where the grain is stored, where the onions used to be stored, you know, all things like that. So the rice and the grain which we stock for so many months, it's all been put here. But in the very beginning, when Baba first asked that Sarosh be on the lookout for a place which would have a little hill near it, and which would have a property with a little quarters on it, and that he wanted to be in seclusion in that place for his work. That was the first hint we had, 1942 or 43. And then Vishnu saw in a newspaper, this ad about this little property that was being auctioned, because this place was originally selected and built. This little place that was built was by the British, who were supervising the construction of the lake, the reservoir that is nearby. When the work was done, then they put it to auction. But it was perfectly timed. Baba had it in mind, obviously, because that's exactly fitted what it was. So then, after a year, sometime after that, we came and lived here. But that very first time when Baba came here, when he came to see, and we just looked around and we went back, and Baba was here in seclusion, it so happened that it was this room Baba was in seclusion in. You know, we recall that later, that this is. Now, this is also a room in the latter year or two when Baba was physically with us. I used to type the family letters here because it was quieter, and I can see from here the Mandali Hall, and I could only do the typing when Baba had left for the Mandali Hall, you know. So it was nice to be able to be here and watch. So right among the onions, the pile of onions, I'd put a little table and a little chair, put my clock there, and sometimes an incense stick. But I think those onion smell helped, you know, somehow give me bright ideas. And then sometimes Baba would have a little bell rung. There were two bells by the hall door. One was for Goher and one was for me. So if I was called, poor Goher need not run every time, you know, or vice versa. So sometime when that bell rang, I would run from here. And once, we were just talking about Peter. And once when Baba called me, there was Peter lying at Baba's feet. Baba would go along with Peter. Peter would go along with Baba when he went to the Mandali Hall. And when Baba was sitting with just a few Mandali around, Peter would usually lie at his feet. And quite often, after a while, he'd get to snoring loudly. He was a dog that really snored. But one day when Baba called me, he said, look at Peter. And there was Peter lying near Baba's feet, and Eruch was reading out some correspondence, all was going on. But there was Peter just having a dream, a very exciting dream, and he was lying there and then making sounds, and his paws were moving so frantically. The frown of his was so marked. The ears almost came up, that cocker ears, which don't really move much. And he was running fast and he was frantic. And Baba said, look, see, Peter thinks he's chasing somebody wildly, or some animal is chasing him. He's going through deserts and over mountains and all. And actually, he's safe and sound at my feet. That to me was like a sermon. I recalled it afterwards and said, yes, all these things that we're doing and we think we're going through and frantically. And then Baba tells us, don't worry, because all the time we're safe in Baba's hands, safe and sound at his feet. He put it that way. He says, Peter's safe and sound at my feet, but he thinks he's being chased by some animal and he's running, or he's chasing somebody. And all that excitement was so visible. So this is what we used to call, and we still call it, the onion go down, where mostly the onions were. But some of the latter, quite a number of the latter family letters were written here. And I think along with the flavor of the onions, a lot of Babas love him. You see, we can see that Mandali Hall door here. And I can see the caravan, the blue caravan there with that, and the red bougainvillea. Come on.
Jai Baba, I'm Meheru and I'm happy to see you all. This is Meherazad veranda, which is much used by Baba and now by all his lovers. Mehera talks with all of them. And this is a very beautiful day today, December. Beautiful sunshine around. And I'm happy to see so many come, because it's Baba's love drawing you all here. Mehera likes to have fresh flowers for the Baba's photo for Aarti in the morning. So when there are flowers, the right type of flowers for the garland from the garden, we make them ourselves so that they can stay fresh longer. And Baba, the garden boys would carry Baba in the lift chair and place the chair on the veranda. And then Mehera would come. After the garden boys and Francis, and I think Bhau used to accompany Baba, also Kaka. Then after they'd left, then Mehera would come and help Baba from the chair. And both of them would go to Baba's room afterwards. And Baba would rest a little while before he went to lunch. As you enter the doorway, this is the drawing room, and it's been much used by Baba. We've tried to keep it as much as possible like it used to be when Baba was physically present with us. Now, Mehera is in the drawing room, and next to her is the ghadi or the divan, which has been so much used by Baba. Baba's relaxed so much over there. In the evening times, Mani would read Baba's favorite detective fiction, any light reading, humorous books of P.D. Woodhouse, and Baba would relax here. At one period, Baba was in the mood for jokes, and this was the time when Elizabeth and Norina were here, and I think for a while Jean and Delia had come. And every day, Baba would want them to tell jokes, not read them from the joke book. Just every day, Baba would have them say jokes, new ones, and it's fortunate that someone had sent a joke book, like a dictionary, because that was from that they could easily find the jokes, the best ones that they could read to Baba. Not actually tell the jokes, and I think Norina was very good at telling them, but then she one time had everything with the name of T in it, and it was either Tommy or teacher. So one time when Delia wasn't well, Narina had a different kind of jokes to tell, which, I mean, Baba really enjoyed and were amused. And then later on when Delia came back, and she started saying jokes, and Baba said, "Oh, I've heard that one before." And Delia would say, "Oh." Then she'd say another one, and we said, "Oh, we've heard that one before." And then we found out that Narina was stealing jokes from her because she was tired of her Tommy and teacher jokes. And said, "Ah, yes, we found the culprit." Baba would be sitting on the divan over there. Baba used to have his in the afternoon meal over there also. Mehera would bring the tray, a table, and then Mehera would serve him.
This is Baba's bedroom. Baba always used to rest in the night upstairs. There's a bedroom upstairs. But since his hip joint was broken, we asked Baba to use this bedroom, and so Baba always used this bedroom from 1958. So when Baba came in, he would be standing on the carpet, and he would unbutton his coat, and I would help to take off his coat, and Rana would take the coat from my hand and put it on a hanger on the peg, and then Baba would be seated. Sometimes Baba would be in relaxed mood. Baba would embrace me. Then when he's seated, he would ask us, "Is it warm climate or is it cool?" We would say, "Oh, Baba, it's pleasant." Baba said, "Yes, I feel it is nice." And then we'd tell Baba that you would like to rest a little while, you must be tired after reading so many correspondence. Baba said, "Yes." But one day, Baba, when he came in, he was seated on the edge of the bed as always, because Baba can't move around because of his broken hip. But that day Baba was seated, and it was rather serious. Baba was, and he looked at us and said, he feels very tired. This means tired. When he was seated, when he came outside from the mandali, he was seated on the edge of this bed as always, and Baba said he feels very tired. This means very tired. And then Baba said, "I'm thinking." This means thinking of resting for 700 years, Baba said. 700 years. So we thought the Baba was so very tired. Why doesn't Baba rest a little? So we told Baba, "Why, if you're so tired, you should rest," because we had no idea what Baba meant by very tired. I mean, he was very tired because of correspondence and so many years of keeping silence, and day after day, and even nights, because Baba used to be awake at nights, because the night watchman who used to be with him all night, they used to be in turns. The mandal used to come to Baba in turns from 5:30 to morning 6 o'clock. Roses at Baba's. No, lovely. Yeah, no, but Tricia bought them. Oh. Yeah. So, yes, Baba said, "I'm very tired. I want to rest for 700 years." We said, "Baba, if you're so tired, why don't you lie down a little and we can massage your hands and feet?" So Baba said, "Yes, all right." And then Baba lay down, and he told us to massage, and so we all girls massaged his feet, his toes and hands and legs, and we said, "Baba, Mani can massage your back. She can massage very well." So Baba turned over, and Mani massaged Baba's back very beautifully. She knows how to do it. And so then Baba turned over and said, "Oh yes, he feels nice now, he feels relaxed, and now we can go and continue the work." This means K for calm, means work. So Naja would be still cooking. Her cooking is not finished, so she would go to cook in the kitchen, and Baba and others who had to do their work, like Mani had to type and so on, they would go, and Rana would read to Baba, and one of us, I or Meheru, would massage his feet the time that Baba is in bed and resting in the afternoon before eating. And then Baba did rest for more than half an hour that day. And then Baba said he will have his lunch, and so Baba got up. I used to help every day, help Baba in the way that I used to put my hand underneath Baba's shoulders and my hand here. So Baba, he would hold this hand, and this hand I would give a little help, means support, lift Baba like this, and Baba would sit up and he'd turn his legs around on the cushion, and Baba was seated. Baba says, I feel nice now. I'm hungry. This means hungry. And then Baba said, I want my food. Let's go and eat now. What's the time? And Baba would look at this means time, and Baba would see the time. Baba said, this means late. It's very late. We must go. This means quickly, And so then Baba would want to get up. One of Meheru or Rano, one of them who were near, they would take away the cushion from under Baba's feet, and then Baba would stand up. But first he'd hold my hand to get a little bit support, because his hip is badly injured. And when we get up, there's a lot of strain on the hip. So Baba holding my hand, and with one hand holding support of one hand on the bed, and the other hand, and Baba would stand up, And then Baba would want to go to have his lunch. And so we went out to the dining room, I and Baba, and the front walking, Baba holding my hand, and the others, Mani and other girls, all following us to the dining room. And there Baba would be seated, but one of us would, move the chair for him to take his place at the dining table, because Baba could not pull the chair for himself, you know what I mean? And so Baba would hold the table, leave go of my hand, hold the table, and then we would place the dining chair for Baba to be seated. And then when the food came on the table, I was told to serve food on Baba's plate. If the rice was enough, Baba would say that's enough, And then this means curry or dal, like this means a spoon. If it's dal, Baba liked dal, Baba said, some more, little bit more, serve some more dal, and then I serve. And then Baba would say, where's the chutney? And so this means chutney, because it's hot. And then chutney is made fresh in the kitchen, and so it would be brought, and then Baba would eat it and say, it's very hot. It's very hot, like that. And so Baba said, leave it. I like it. This means I like it. And so Baba would have his dal and rice. Every day Baba had plain dal and rice in the evening at 4:30 here on this chair, big chair, Harry Kenmore had brought this chair here. And then at that time in the evening, Mani would read to Baba from 3:30 to 5:30. Baba loved to hear Rex Stout books. His favorite detective Baba's was Nero Wolf. Also, he loved to read Agatha Christie, but the books that had Poirot as what do you call it? The detective, I would say, is Poirot. This means Poirot. Is Poirot in the book, in the story? Mani said yes. Baba said yes. I love Poirot. Read it, Baba. This means read. And Mani would read to Baba, and we would all sit around, and then we'd hear the stories. And Baba loved Woodhouse also, and Baba's favorite also was Edgar Wallace. And which other book, what is it called? I forget now.
The Little Grey Man.
Little Grey Men, Tolkien, yes, Tolkien also. But old time, in which, not Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes also, that also Baba's read, but there's another, I forget now. Sexton Blake, right, Baba's favorite. Baba said, as a boy at school, child at school, he used to love to read Sexton Blake, and Baba had those books brought and had them read, and Baba loved them very much.
Could you tell us that when Baba watches television?
Yes. One day I was seated in the chair there, and Baba was seated here, and he looked out. That time, certain season it was, and the sun was about to set, and so there were lovely setting sun rays on the hill. And when I was seated there, and Baba called me, said, come here, come here. And I came to Baba, and I stood near Baba. Baba said, see, look, this is my television, TV. This is my TV. It's best in the world. In all the world, my TV is best, Baba said. Look, and I saw it. I said, yes, Baba, really is beautiful, because there were flowers in the foreground in our garden, and at the back there was what you call that field with corn, and some of it was ripe corn, and beyond that were other trees, and the little hill that had rays of the sun, and where the rocks were, it was blue, and where the soil was, it was pinkish, and the grass that was there was greenish. So it was very lovely, the hill that day. It looked special. So Baba said, this is my television. It's the best in the world. So we said, yes, Baba, it is best in the world. So whenever we see this view from Baba's bedroom, from near his bed, we remember that this is Baba's TV, Baba told us. And then,
Oh, go ahead.
no, then there used to be rainy season. But it did not rain here, so I told Baba, it's not raining. See, the farmers have ploughed their fields and they're waiting for rain. When will it rain, Baba? Baba said, wait, it will rain. So really, it did rain. In 2 days, the clouds came and it rained hard, and we were with Baba in the evening when Mani's reading. And so when it started raining so hard, Baba told Rana to open this door. This is the door that was opened. This door was open, and Baba looked out of this door. Seated on the bed, Baba looked out and said, oh, how lovely, it's raining. And it's raining so much, means much hard it's raining. Then Baba called me to his bedside. Baba said, look, can you see how it's raining? I said, yes, Baba, it's raining good and hard. Baba said, aren't you happy now? I said, yes, Baba, I'm happy. So then just a second after that, I thought my mind worked. I said, Baba, it's raining good and hard now, but once it stops to rain, it won't rain for a long time. Will it rain after 15 days again, Baba? Baba said, that I don't know. What's going to happen after 15 days, that I don't know. But it's raining now, isn't it? I said, yes, Baba. Yes, Baba. So Baba said, be happy, it's raining now. Why are you thinking about what's going to happen after 15 days? Be happy that it's raining now, be happy in the present. This is what Baba meant. Baba was very sweet, but very naughty, Baba was. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Could you
Yes.
just show us Baba's gesture for I and God are one?
I and God are one.
God is like this, I and God are one.
Right. Could you just stand by the door? Away
Yeah.
from the window. Yes, that's perfect.
I and God are one. We are one together. And this also meant God. This also meant God. Means great. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Baba said this was his television, and it was best television in the world. Baba's television is best in the world, and so we all said, yes, Baba, it does look lovely, and it did look lovely that day because there was many colors, in flowers in the field and the hill. It looked very lovely in sunset time. These are Baba's chappals, the sandals that he wore the last 2-3 years. Baba wore them because Baba did not walk too much. He couldn't. He loved walking, and he has climbed all the hills around in Meherazad, and he walked so fast and so beautifully. He loved walking, but since his hip was broken, he could not walk. And it was very sad to see Baba could not walk, and he was limping all the time. His first accident, his leg got well and he could walk like normal like before, and Baba was happy that time he could walk. The second accident, he could not walk the last 5 years, could not walk even through the garden. Otherwise, he used to hold my hand to go through the garden from 1958 on to 1962, 63. Baba could walk very well, but later on he could not walk because osteoarthritis set in, and it was very uncomfortable for Baba to walk. So we felt very, very sad. But Baba never wanted us to pull along for it. He always wanted us to be happy, look happy, and that would help Baba, Baba said. So we always would be happy to see that Baba is happy and to obey him. Love and obey him, that is what Baba wanted. Jai Baba.
This Baba's board.
Are you going to do the board?
This is Baba's alphabet board. This is Baba's alphabet board on which Baba has talked by pointing on the board. And his fingers to fly on the board so fast that those who had practice could read it. But once when Baba was telling me something on the board, his fingers were so fast, pointing out. I said, Baba, I can't follow so fast. Please, Baba, a little bit slowly. So Baba said, all right. And so very slowly, letter by letter, he spelled the word out for me, and then I could read. I couldn't read very fast. But Baba always had patience and saw that the other one was always happy. That's how Baba is so beautiful in his love. Jai Baba.
Baba's hair. Just, I'll take it close up. You can point out where.
You want me to point out the face?
Yes, Baba's face.
Can you see it in
Yeah,
there?
it's perfect.
You want to come nearer to
Yeah, he can make the camera.
Isn't it too far away?
It's close up.
But he magnifies.
No, just point to Baba's face. Or you can tell the story. One day you were looking.
All right.
Go ahead.
This Baba's hair, Baba's hair I used to brush and comb. So I used to gather Baba's hair in a jar or in a box. And sometime later in 1966, I got a thought that Baba's hair should be preserved because Baba does not use oil, so his hair would be brittle and they would not keep for many years. So I asked money to ask in the West USA, in America, what should be done. So Harry Kenmore said they should be preserved airtight, in a vacuum. So when Harry Kenmore came to Guru Prasad, we gave him this hair, Baba's hair, and he took it to USA and had it put in a plaque. It is airtight now, so it will keep for many years. It came in 1969, end of July, in August, I think. But Harry was not here to see it. He had just left, and then Baba's hair arrived, done in the plaque. But they were here for 2 years, from 69 to 70, from 70 to 71, and nobody had seen Baba's face. Now what happened was, one day I had finished cleaning and dusting Baba's room. Every photo has to be dusted every day, and Baba's chair to be brushed, his bed to be made, and other things, many things has to be attended to. And after that, I said I must find Baba's face, must be in his hair because there's so much design. And so I stood there looking, trying to find Baba's face in his own hair. And but I couldn't see it for some time, and I got tired, my legs standing, because I was quite for some time in his room on my feet. And so I said, never mind, I won't give up. Baba must give me darshan, at least in his hair I must see his face. And so I went on looking and trying to find, and then all of a sudden my eyes caught this side of Baba's hair, on the edge where Baba's face is actually very beautifully and very clear, I could see. And I felt so happy. I said, oh, darling Baba, how beautiful your face. And I loved seeing, I looked at Baba's face with so much love in my heart for Baba. And that time when Meheru was there in the next room, I called her and showed it to her, and then Mani, and then the other girls. And then later on, everybody, others, Baba lovers also have seen, and they find it very beautiful. It's like more like a young time face, Baba's. Chair. This is a chair that Harry Kenmore had brought for Baba. He said, Baba must not sit on any old chair. I'm going to get the best chair for Baba. And so from America, he had this chair brought. It came in by air, and it was brought to Guru Prasad in Pune. And he asked Baba to be seated on it. And Baba smiled and came very slowly and was seated in the chair, and he smiled. And Harry said, Baba, don't you like it? Baba said, yes, very much, I like it very much. It's a very good chair, very comfortable. Harry said, I knew this is a chair just right for you to use, Baba. See, you can, if it's pushed back, it can be a leaning back, you can lean back again, and then in the front also you can lean rest your legs. There's a portion of it that comes out such a way that Baba can rest his legs. And Baba said, yes, it's a really very beautiful, comfortable chair. So Harry said, oh, Baba, then you can give darshan for hours now. You won't get tired. Baba said, no, not for hours. So Baba would not be caught like that. So Baba laughed, and Baba was very happy with Harry's love for him, yes.
What about this picture in the back? During the ashram days, you decorated it?
This? No, this is after Baba dropped his body. It was brought from London, Western Baba lovers. This was from London. Baba lovers has made this frame. I mean, the photo decorated with real leaves and flowers, because they said leaves and flowers from their garden to Baba's room, how to send. So this is how they dried the leaves and flowers, and Baba's lovely photo. And all, as Baba says, I am the ancient one. So they drew all the signs of the religions, This is darling, sweet baby Jesus is here, and Celestial sign, and Hindu sign Om, and Muslim sign, and this is Ashok Chakra, Buddhist sign, the wheel of evolution. And Baba's name is written there also in the star, and Jesus' photo also, Baba's name. And Baba must be about 48 in this picture. This photo is very lovely, Baba's. And Baba's hair looks lovely, abundance of beautiful hair Baba had. Beautiful brown, shining hair, and curly and lovely. Baba's hair was. Jai Baba.
But, okay.
Baba used to come around this corner here, and he used to be seated in this dining chair to have his breakfast as well as lunch. Baba used to be seated.
Even Heather, you can hold it.
All right, here's I hold it.
Whatever you say.
I used to serve food on Baba's plate. Naja had to cook because she knew to cook very well. So she always cooked for Baba, and when the food was on the table, I had to serve food. And when Baba started eating, Baba would tell me to help myself the food and come and eat. And so as to bring my plate with food in my plate, and when I was seated, Baba always gave a bit of fish from his plate and gave it to me. And I would take it, but then I would say, Baba, you are told to take protein, you should be eating it. Baba said, no, I have much, you eat this. And Baba used to give me fish every day, and every time that he had fish on his plate. But when he had curry and rice with meat in it, mutton, then Baba used to, before eating, Baba used to put little pieces of meat around his plate. So we thought he was going to eat it last, but Baba ate his curry and rice, and he ate the 2-3 little bits of mutton that were there, and the rest were lined around his plate. And after Baba had finished eating the rice and curry and rice, Baba would tell me to give him water and soap to wash his hands. So we said, Baba, but you haven't eaten the meat. You're told to take high protein. Baba said, no, I ate enough. Now this is for Mastan, Baba said. So we said, Baba, but then Baba says, I said, Baba, Mastan's food is prepared outside. We've got enough food for Mastan. You should eat some more protein. Baba said, I have eaten enough. It's enough. This is for Mastan. I feel happy to give it to him, and he feels happy to eat it. So we both feel happy. We said, all right, Baba. But from next day, whenever there was meat to be in his curry, we sent for more meat. And Baba, when he saw more meat on his plate, he would smile and look at us, knowingly in a way that he knew that we had sent for more meat, that he should have more. So Baba would have 2-3 pieces more, and smiling. That is very sweet. Baba looked at that time. Yes. So, then Baba heard radio. He loved music. So at breakfast time and at lunch time, then Goher would bring the little transistor and play music for Baba, and Baba loved to hear music, where the beautiful songs, special Qawwali songs, Baba used to enjoy very much. And so for half an hour more, he used to be seated here to hear music. He was very fond of music and songs. And he loved singing himself. He had a very beautiful voice for singing. And he loved to sing, and he always used to sing. I remember his voice and way of singing. It's so beautiful, his voice. There's no voice like Baba's voice.
Mehera, tell that when he heard the ghazal from Pakistan that he liked.
Yes. One morning it was, Baba had washed his face and had his breakfast and shaved. I used to attend to his personal needs. To give him, Baba would ask me to give him the Sheba, so to be in this chest of drawers, so I would give him the Sheba, and then Baba would shave, and then Baba would tell me to brush his hair, and his fingernails to be cut. Then I used to cut Baba's fingernails. His toenails also, to wash his feet and cut his toenails. All his personal needful I used to do, and also I used to trim Baba's moustache. Mm-hmm. So that was in the morning. The one day when this radio was on, it was time for Baba to leave. And at that time there was a very beautiful song on the radio. It was a Qawwali song. So Baba loved Qawwali. He heard one verse, but he said, now it's 9:15, he must go to the mandali. It's time, it's too late, I must go. So we said, Baba, lovely song. Baba said, no, I must go. So when Baba started to go out to the dining room, I gestured to Goher to bring the radio with Baba, to walk with Baba with the radio in her hand, so Baba should not miss the song because he loved it. So as Baba was walking, Goher was walking behind us with the radio in her hand. So Baba was hearing the music and also was walking towards the veranda. And when he was seated in the sedan chair, Goher put the radio on the wall there, that step. And by the time the garden boys came, because she had to whistle, there's a metal whistle there, she whistled, and the boys would come, 2 servants from the mandali and 2 from our side. They used to. So when Baba was going through, in the chair through the garden, I told Goher to take the radio with Baba, and so Goher was carrying the radio, following Baba with the music, Qawwali songs still being played. And when Baba went in the darshan hall, there also she put it on the table, and so Baba did not miss that Qawwali song that he loved to hear. And when ended the song, then Goher brought the radio back. So Baba was very happy, he heard the whole song. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. That's all.
Jai Baba.
I'm going to take a close picture.
So in detail, yes?
Yeah, that was good. Not too much. Yeah. Anthony Thorpe from New Zealand?
No, it's Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.